Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited and delighted, thrilled to have you here in my new video. A video with the Feldenkrais method of somatic education. Today I present you a very special lesson. A lesson about how to come up from the floor and go back down again. But instead of focusing on strength and power, we will focus on improving the movement itself. We will improve on the body organization, about how we think about the movement. This will free up your hip joints like nothing else you've experienced before. This will give you a marvelous feeling of being on top of your leg bones, on top of your hips, very nicely aligned and floating upwards and downwards. So let's get on with it. Let's get onto the floor and explore together. Alright, so you will need a little bit of floor space, not much today. We will kneel a lot, so you might need a cushion or like a small cushion, something for your knees. And then, to start with, a word of caution. This is not a beginner's lesson. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult lesson. And if you've never done Feldenkrais before, you might want to have a look at my other videos, something more easy, like for example in side lying, the neck and shoulder lesson. Very nice lesson to free up your neck and shoulders from tension and to organize it better. Just the same thing what we're doing now, to organize the movement. In any way, you always have the pause button. I think it's the space bar or just with the mouse or the finger, just pause the video whenever you want to pause the video and then continue, or repeat of movement and then continue. You can skip back and forth in the video. Just a word of caution. So, to start with the lesson, please come to kneel into a kneeling stand, to stand on your knees. Exactly. All right, so this is quite a thing in itself, isn't it? To be able to stand on the knees. So if you're a therapist, you might think of the muscles in front here at the hip joint. They might be a little bit short. Don't worry about this. Just get to stand somehow. Stand onto your knees. Have a good feeling that you're standing onto your knees fairly upright. Always need to check on my audio recording. Cannot trust these devices nowadays. Anyways, we're standing a little bit on the knees just to get comfortable in kneeling. That's why I'm talking a little bit. We can stand with the knees closer or further apart, just to get a feeling for kneeling, that we can come up onto the balls, onto the top of the femur, the big leg bone, the upper leg bone. Maybe you have a feeling for that. And when you do like circles or little movements, there's other lessons for that. But just to be a little bit on top, a little bit kneeling. And then we go into the first movement in Feldenkrais. We have a lot of movements and we combine them to movement sequence. And all the movements are in relation to each other. It's very clever sequences of movements. So please get your right foot to standing. So you're standing on your right foot. I move a little bit, I turn a little bit so you can see how I am doing it. Which is not the important point. Just feel how you are doing it. And you can always check with the screen, of course, what I am doing. Now please lean with your right elbow onto your right knee. Put your right elbow onto your right knee. There's many ways of doing this. I am thinking of a quite casual way to do it like that. You can go into the thinker position. Think. But lean yourself onto your right knee. And so you can have a feeling of having some weight on your knee. You will feel that on your right foot. You will feel a little bit more weight on your right foot. Depends on where your right foot is standing. And then just bend a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, which means you move your head a little bit to the left and to the right, and you move your shoulders a little bit, and maybe there's a little bit movement in your pelvis and your hip joints. What could I mean by doing that? So we start to explore this position, about the possibilities of swaying a little bit to the left and to the right, just to be more comfortable in this stance, in this funny kneeling position. This has something to do with the lunge already. So now please come to standing on your knees again. Bring your left foot to standing. And lean onto your left knee with your left elbow. Yeah, you can do it like the cool position or the thinking position. Anyways, you need to start to sway, to lean left and right. So this requires a certain way of leaning on your knee, to be able to go a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. And there's so many bones and muscles and parts of yourself. Where do you put all these things in space? And maybe your left side feels different than your right side, doesn't it? Could be quite a large difference in how everything goes together. Maybe one side feels more comfortable, more easy, more natural, the other side more difficult. Don't worry, the lesson is getting more difficult. This is just to warm up, a little start. And then come back onto your knees again. Or maybe sit a little bit, take a little break. This was just the first movement. And then come up into this standing, kneeling again. Kneeling, standing on your knees. And bring your right foot to standing again. And just observe how you do that. And then come to kneeling again. And then come to stand on your right foot again. And then bring the right knee back on the floor again. And then bring your right foot to stand again. And then bring your right knee to kneel again. So this is the next movement, and it's not an exercise, but you start to get busy with exploring. Where do you put your weight? Do you have to do side bending? Or do you just sway to one side, bring all your weight to the right or to the left side? Do you make a big circle with your foot around, like half circle? Yeah, like a capoeira movement? Or do you prefer to go a straight way, to put your right foot standing in a very straight way? How do you make room for this movement? Don't stare onto the floor. Don't stare onto your feet. Don't keep your gaze downwards. Keep your gaze fairly free. Keep your head free when you do this movement, so that you can look to the left, or you can look up, or you can look around. Keep your eyes free to explore the room, to be in a neutral position. Keep your head free to move. Keep your neck free. And continue with this movement. Let's do it a little bit faster. Get your right foot standing fast. Can I hear something? Can't hear it. But you should hear something. You should hear my foot stomping, and you should hear your own foot stomping when you come up and you place your right foot. Where do you put your right foot? Is it more to the left, more to the center, more to the right? Where do you put your right foot? And that's not a question of right or wrong, but it's a question of where's the best place, the best alignment to get your foot to standing in this task of putting it fast to standing and fast backwards, fast to standing and fast backwards. And then you can always take a rest, take a short rest, and then do it slow. Let's do this in slow motion. Let's film this very, very slowly. Do it in very slow motion. What do you do? What do you move first? When you want to bring your right foot to standing, what do you have? Do you have to shift your weight? Only in slow motion you will be able to observe that. Or do you bend your head first? Do you look somewhere? Do you hold your breath? Ideally, you can breathe freely. Ideally, you can talk. Ideally, this is an easy movement. So what do you do when you have to do this in slow motion to get your right foot standing? Please don't fall over. Don't make this an insurance case. You could hold on to a lamp or to a wall or to a chair. Ideally, you can do it free. So far, all my students were able to do this without holding. You just have to be careful and stay within the limits what you can do to do this balancing act. And when you do it slowly, you can already feel your left hip joint. Your left hip joint can go more to the right or to the left. You can bring your hip forwards or backwards. What do you have to do to bring your right foot to standing slowly? Yeah? Let's move on to the next movement, the next variation, which will make things more clear in a somatic kind of way. It's not just thinking, but we think to plan, we move, and then we observe our feelings and what we sense, and then we feel. So please bring your right foot to standing, so your right foot is standing, and with your left hand, touch the floor somewhere. Lean on your left hand somewhere. Lean on your left hand. And then bring your right knee to stand again. And then bring your right foot to stand again. While you're kneeling, kneeling with the left hand, leaning with the left hand on the floor. You lean on the floor with your left hand. And then, of course, your eyes should be relaxed. Your eyes should be free, your neck should be free. You could look downwards, or you could look upwards, and then start to explore different places for your left hand. Maybe put the left hand a little further behind, see where your right knee is going. You can put your left hand further in front. You can put your left hand more to the center or closer to your right foot. Always lean where to put the right hand. Maybe on top or just on the side. Yeah? So we do this a couple of times. Somebody turned on the heating or what? I'm starting to feel hot. All right, then come to kneel again. See how the kneeling is now. You kneel on both knees. And then once again, bring your right foot to stand. Just see. How is it now? After we touch the floor with the left hand. How is it to bring your right foot? Do you have already more a feeling of balance? Where you put your weight? Ideally, of course, you sway a little bit to the left, and then you can bring your right foot to standing. Makes sense, right? Or you do a little bit side bending contortion. Not sure if that is good. But there's a couple of ways to do it. Some way you have to make space for your right foot. All right, then let's take a break. Just lie down on the floor, take a break on your back. Please come on your back and relax. Yeah. And then come back up to kneeling, kneeling on both knees. I can't begin to tell you how much of sore muscles I had after I did this lesson the first time last week. I almost couldn't walk for 2 days because I put too much effort. So don't put too much effort. Stay in a comfortable range. Don't try to have sore muscles. And after, you still have the good effect even when you have, if you do too much, if you have sore muscles. But it will feel much better if you be careful with yourself. Now, please, when you're on your both knees, standing on both knees, bring your left foot to standing. Yeah? How did you do that? Where did you put your weight? How is that different from the other side? Can you feel the difference? How do you move? How do you make space? Where do you... Please keep your head free, keep your breathing free, keep your shoulders free to move. And just bring your left foot to standing and then stand on your left knee again. So it's up and down. And maybe you can hear the stomping sounds. Doo-doo. Yeah? What way do you do? Please lean onto your right hand. Lean on your right hand. And so you can feel if you make like this capoeira movement, where you make a half a circle, or you bring up the foot in a fairly straight line, up and down. Then come to stand on both knees again, and continue with the movement. So you can have this feeling of leaning on the right hand in different locations, or you don't lean on the right hand. What is the difference? What is the difference in feeling, in your experience? What is the difference in support? What is the difference for your left hip joints? This has to be done all in the hip joints. We're working on the hip joints now. There shouldn't be any, like, the lower back shouldn't move much. The back should be fairly stable in this movement. It's really the hip joints that we're working. Working, work, 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 work. Work the hip joints so that we can do it very fast, very fast, 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 faster, do it faster. Or freeze time and make it a very, very slow movement. So you can really feel you're floating in space. Or maybe you can think of holidays in the Maldives, like the clear oceans, and you're in the water, the sunshines and palm trees and white sands, and you're floating through the water and you're making a very small, very slow movement. All right, so please take a short rest on your back. Come onto your back. Just a short rest to relax, take a break, have a pause, feel your connection with the floor, where you touch the floor. Let your breathing become fluent again, stable, small. And then come back up onto your knees, please. Now, this is a Feldenkrais lesson, a very systematic lesson. I make it very, very structured. So please bring your right foot to standing. Yes, and back. And then bring your left foot to standing. Yes, you know the routine. Then it's the right one. See how you do that? Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. And see how you sway with your upper body. You go from one side to the other. And when you do it fast, this cushion is in the way, so I have to remove the cushion. And when you do it fast, it's more like a straight line. You can think of yourself on rails, a movement on rails. When you do it really fast, yeah, you're swaying from one side to the other. And then we had the other variation. Yes, you can hit the pause button if you like, or continue. So we continue with the hands on the floor. Please bring your hands on the floor, and now try to bring, you can come onto your fists, or onto, however you like to come onto your hands, and then bring your right foot to standing. And of course, you have to put the right knee outside, to the right of your right elbow. You cannot inside. You have to put it outside. And then bring your left foot to standing on the outside. So this is the limitation of my clothes. This is a stretchy jeans. This jeans stretches, but it's still not stretching good enough. So the jeans, not my muscles, the jeans. I don't stretch. And do the variation. One time you bring your right foot to standing, and once you bring your left foot to standing. Yeah? So movement in the hip joints, maybe a little bit in your back. I don't know. Keep a free head. We have to move this lesson. We have to move the plot. Move the plot. Let's continue. Have a short break on the floor. This lesson is almost like sports, isn't it? If we would divide this lesson into parts, this would have been the first part. A couple of things to play with, a couple of things to explore. And now we continue to the second part. So please come to stand onto your knees again. And then bring your right foot to standing. Can you remember how to do this? Yeah, easy, huh? Right foot to standing. Lean with your right elbow onto your right knee. And then bring the toes of your left foot to standing. Like this. So your toes, the toes are not flat, but the toes of your left foot are standing. How much of a distance between the right foot and the left knee? A distance in front and in the back and to the sides. You have to figure it out yourself, where to put your stuff. You can stand like this. You can be elegant like this, or to the side. Really depends on your feelings and how to explore this, or how to stand on your left hip joint. It's a ball and you have a hip socket and you can put your hip on top of this ball somehow. So the starting position of these movements anyhow is right elbow on right knee and your left foot is standing. And now start to lift your left knee off the floor a tiny little bit. Lift your, you have to move your weight somewhere. You have to move your weight so you can lift your left knee. How do you have to move the weight? I will explain more later, but now you're on your own. Lift your left knee a little bit. How to do this? Huh? This is quite a large military operation, isn't it? Oh, put so much effort. How to lift the left knee, my God. How to lift the left knee, how to make it more and more easy. Where do you have to put your weight to be able to lift your left knee off the floor? And then when you return the knee to the floor, it shouldn't be like Voyager 1 crashing down. Let's give you this image. When you bring down your knee, it's like you kiss the floor with your knee. It's not a hard kiss, but you kiss the floor. Yes, that's a different quality, isn't it? You kiss the floor with your knee and then you come up again. You lift your left knee and you bring it down softly as to kiss the floor with your left knee. The toes of your left foot are standing. Your head is free. Maybe you want to move the head downwards. As a counterbalancing, you can drop your head downwards, you can drop your shoulders downwards in order to lift your left knee. Try this a bit. Then come to stand onto your knees again. What a relief, isn't it? And bring your left foot to standing. Lean with your left elbow onto your left knee. Stand the toes of your right foot. And then start to lift your right knee. Same quality, very soft. Just lift it a little bit. Maybe you have to shift your weight, maybe you have to come into a different stance, maybe you have to drop your head in order to be able to lift the right knee. Yeah? And set it down very gentle, like as if you would want to kiss the floor with your right knee. Okay, we take a break. Come onto the floor, take a break. Now come onto your knees again, please. We're getting to the dough of the lesson, to the secrets of the things that will make it more easy. Please stand your right foot. Stand the toes of your left foot. Lean with your right elbow onto your right knee. And lean with your left hand onto the floor. Somewhere. Where to put the left hand exactly is topic of another lesson. But just put the left hand somewhere. And then lift up your left knee a little bit. Raise your left knee from the floor. And bring it back down again. So the standing arm, the standing left arm might help, doesn't it? And you can use your head as a counterweight. You're countering the movement of your pelvis. So the pelvis goes up and the head goes down. And try different positions with your left hand. Maybe, yes, let's do this. Bring your left hand into different positions each time until you can find the ideal location for your left hand. Is there any ideal location? Actually, the location will continue to improve. Where is a good place for the left hand? A good place for the right hand or the right elbow to be able to lift your pelvis easily and you counterbalance like a zigzag movement. Starts to be easy, isn't it? Should start to feel more easy. So we explore this for a couple, 20 movements maybe. Where do you have to shift your weight to make this more easy? Then come back onto your knees. How is that? Standing on the knees. And bring your left foot to standing. With your left elbow, come to lean onto your left knee, toes of your right foot standing. Lift your right knee off the floor. Yes, and now bring your right hand down on the floor. Lean on the floor with your right hand. Try the same movement. Lift the right foot a little. Lift the right knee a little bit. And gently, gently set down the right knee. A kiss to the floor. and up again. And you can try different locations for your right hand. You can try different locations for your right knee, different locations for your left foot and for your right foot, anywhere where you touch the floor. Different locations for your left elbow or left hand in that regard. But ideally, it's the left elbow on your left knee. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Have your head free, have your eyes free, being able to look around, the ears being able to hear around. Counterbalance the movement. Or don't counterbalance. Keep the head up on the horizon. Or lower the head to the floor, into the direction of the floor. Yes, until we explored this for a while, so it can organize itself a little bit. And then take a rest again. Or take a rest in kneeling. Just a minute. In my videos is half a minute. Ridiculously short breaks. You can make the breaks longer, will be much better learning, much better experience if you have longer breaks. Oh. Basically, when you pause, you wait until your breathing has calmed down, until your heartbeat has calmed down, everything is regular again. And then when you have this regular rhythm again, usually in class I wait until everybody has relaxed down, and then we come up again. So please come up again onto your knees. Maybe no cushion. So you're standing on your knees, bring your right foot to standing. Yeah. Bring your left toes to standing. Yes, you need to find good positions. And lift your left knee. Think of your left foot. Bring weight onto your left foot. Lean against the toes of your left foot. Yeah. Really bring weight onto your left foot. When you rise, your buttocks. Yeah? Try it with leaning on the floor with your left hand. So you counterbalance and you bring weight onto your left foot. So you have to distribute the weight on your left foot and on the right foot. Distribute. Then try it without leaning on the floor. Try it without leaning on your right knee. Try it with counterbalancing. Try it with looking at the horizon. Try it with like supporting with the pelvis, your upper body. The upper body is on your pelvis, and you come up and you come down. Come up and you come down. Come to kneeling again. Bring your left foot to standing. Lean with your left elbow onto your left knee. Bring your right foot to standing. And you have to find good positions. And then start to lift your right knee, but also lean onto your right toes. Lean on the toes of the right foot. I did a lesson called Towards Japanese Sitting. In this lesson, we explored to bring the pelvis backwards, remember, and to turn. There's a bit of this lesson inside here. Just the feeling of bringing more weight onto your right foot to counterbalance, to help with your arms, or to stop helping with your arms, just to raise your pelvis and come to standing. It takes a bit to find this. So maybe you don't have it now, like the full experience. You have to do this lesson again, or just to play a little bit more with how to exactly find the right spots to support or not support, how to counterbalance, to raise the pelvis and lower the head, or to have the head on the horizon, the eyes on the horizon, and have the same feeling of counterbalance, of ease, without counterbalancing, like internal counterbalancing. Come up and go down. Come up and go down. When you go down, kiss the floor. Kiss the floor with your right knee. And then find the organization to distribute the weight on the right foot and the left foot. How to move your weight to one side or the other. To come up. Or to counterbalance. And then come up. Let's take one more break. In my group classes here, people didn't want to lie down again. For myself, I always like to lie down. Ta-da! Ta-da-da! So this is a very necessary break. We have to take this break because there was a couple of new movements for the nervous system, and it has to integrate. It has to think about it. It would even be good to have like a 20-minute break, have a small nap, listen to some music, or just rest or sleep, and then finish this lesson with the last couple of movements, which puts everything together. So please come onto your knees again for the last things we're going to do together. And remember all the parts of this lesson. We started with just swaying a little bit to the left and to the right, and then we started to put the foot to standing in different curves with different alignments. Then we started kneeling on the knee and lifting the kneeling knee and supporting ourselves on the floor with counterbalance movements. Just a review. Without counterbalance. Do you feel how it's getting easy? If you don't feel it, I have to do it again. Process yourself through this lesson again until you can find the organization to come up very, very lightly, very, very lightly on your hip joints. The work is in the hip joints, in the big muscles of the body. And you can do counterbalancing or without counterbalancing. Try kneeling again, how you can kneel over your hip joints, how the hip joints became free in this lesson. Bring your left foot to standing. Toes of your right foot standing. Find the organization. You can lean with your left elbow on your left knee. You can lean with your right hand on the floor. Just to start this movement and find how to bring weight onto the toes of the right foot, onto the left foot, how to counter this movement. Bring the head towards the floor. Or bring the head up. And you come to kneel and you lounge up and come down again and up and down. When you have found it, it's really super easy movement. And then you can come up with one foot, change over, and can come down with the other one. Come up, change over, come down, come up, change over, come down. You know it. When you've found it, you know it because it's easy. It's just a very light and easy movement to do. And you can use this for a lot of things. Just for getting up from a chair. You can use it for climbing stairs. Or for your weight training. All right? Then come to stand. Just stand on your feet. Feel how you're standing, how your body is up. Supported from your feet through all the bones, through all the ligaments and tendons and reflexes, everything that brings you up. It's so easy to go down and up. It's just fun to do.